All right, let's speak about some of the things that are in the country right now,
Yes.
and that you seemed to agree with. The Social Health Authority, SHA, something you were a big supporter of, then, now appears to be suffering a series of scandals. At least the Ministry of Health is defending itself, is defending its record, saying there is no fraud at the Social Health Authority. You sat there when this was being mooted. What was the proposal? And do you think, in hindsight, that
initially I supported.
Yeah. What was the idea that you supported?
We had committed.
Yeah.
We had committed in our manifesto to improve on NHIF and actually make it available to every Kenyan. And in fact, we promised to reduce the payments for ordinary people from 500 shillings to 300. We went ahead to promise that those who could not pay, who had no income at all, yeah, will be covered, by the fund without having to make any contribution. Those are the things that we did. So when we came in, we got the former CS for Roots, Kamau, to come and chair the board of NHIF. And he started on a process of how to reform it and make it better. And proposals were done, and it was agreed they needed to improve the system at a cost of about 800 million to make NHIF more responsive, to make it more efficient, to serve the people of Kenya. William Ruto put a team of advisors at State House who are working parallel from the ministers. And they came up with this thing called SHA. Yeah? And they said NHIF is bad, there was a lot of fraud, we must reform it and we must change it completely. And this thing was brought and we started interrogating it. Along the way, I started getting fears that this thing was a scheme to rip off the people of Kenya. Yeah? And they proposed that we create a new system that will cost 104 billion Kenya shillings. And I asked William Ruto, my brother, if the board of NHIF is saying they can reform this system at 800 million, why do we need a new system costing about 104 billion? He said, no, we will do it this way. This thing was forced. That's why you had an MP say, we pass SHA for you. This thing was pushed by William Ruto. This 104 billion, Yvonne, is pure theft of public funds. It's the biggest rip-off in the history of the independent Kenya. This system does not exceed 1 billion shillings. 103 billion shillings had been stolen by William Ruto and company. And that is why it is him, because you had the MP saying, we passed you a SHA. Okay? And that is why he was saying when he was in Sagana, explaining why we differed. Oh, did you ever hear Rigathi deferred the health system? Did you ever hear him defer the education system? Did you ever hear him talking about the housing program? I told him, give me a break. I cannot defend corruption. I said, Mr. President, excuse me, forgive me. I could not help you to defend SHA. This is outright theft of public funds. Now, after stealing 104 billion shillings, Duale and company now, the little money people have been deducted from their salaries, the little money that people are paying for SHA, this money they are sending to non-existent hospitals and stealing it. And this is the money that is doing empowerment programs by Mr. Soprano. This is the money that William Ruto is using to bribe people in State House. Where do you think this money is coming from? I heard him asking the governor of Mandera, not governor of Mandera. He was saying there is a governor who has paid 150 million. Where did he get it from? I want to pose you the question, Mr. William Ruto. This money you are bribing people. This one you have given Soprano to bribe people. Where are you getting it from? This is money for SHA. Now, Aden Duale is telling us, an abusing journalist, Yvonne, that we have shut down the hospitals. How do you shut down hospitals that do not exist? Please, these people, the impunity, the kind of contempt they have for the people of Kenya. A minister telling the people of Kenya they have discovered that money is being paid to non-existent hospitals, ghost hospitals. And his reply is that, no, we have shut down those hospitals. Where is the money? What measures has he announced today? If these hospitals were non-existent, if these hospitals were not compliant, and they have been shut because they are not compliant, has he announced how we shall recover this money? I would have expected William Ruto, the new champion of fighting corruption in Kenya, to talk about this. Instead, he's only talking about 10 million, and his complaint, it has not reached the MPs who are his friends. That is his only concern, that 10 billion was bribed, it did not reach MPs. William Ruto, why are you not speaking about this 10 billion? By today, in a country of the rule of law, Duale should be at home. You know?
What
and
for?
We are saying,
what for?
He should have been sacked. This is a scandal of unknown magnitude. You have seen today the website for SHA, where the records were, showing who has been paid, has been stepped down, so that you people do not interrogate these hospitals. Because what would have happened? You people are very imaginative. With the list they are showing who has been paid, you would have sent your correspondents all over the country to see whether the hospitals exist. And because they don't exist, that is why they have removed, those details from the website, so that Kenyans do not interrogate, they do not audit the theft of public funds.
And then there is also the affordable housing, again, something else that you touted. In fact, you were on record as telling everybody that this is something that you should pay up. What changed along the way?
Initially, when I supported this program,
yes.
William Ruto is very convincing. He's a very convincing guy. And he's very deceptive. Extremely deceptive. He had convinced all of us that this housing program, affordable, was a good thing for Kenya. That it will create employment for our young people, that this program, we need slum upgrading, we need to dignify our people, blah, blah, blah. It sounded very nice. Only to realize later, it's nonsense.
At what point did you make this realization?
After 1 year. It's when I started seeing what's going on. To start with, when he forced people now to have the housing levy. Because the question, people were asking me, and I went and asked him.
What was the idea for you in your mind with this?
Initially, we thought it's a genuine thing. Only to realize that it's about business. That William Ruto has seen a business opportunity to sell cement, to sell steel, and to sell iron sheets. Again, to partner with developers to make money. And for that program to succeed, it needed a source of money. So he had to create a housing levy so that the money is flowing. And this money has been put in Sidian Bank, a bank that he bought immediately we came into office. Okay? Sidian Bank is level 3, is tier 3. According to the central bank regulations, all money belonging to parastatals and governments must be put in tier 1. Tier 1 is Cooperative Bank, Equity, Barclays, those big banks. But he told central bank to allow Sidian to receive money from SHA and also money from housing. So that bank has grown, from a profit of 300 million in 1 year to 1.2 billion.
So I want to understand this. You're saying, so at what point did you realize SHA, according to you, wasn't the idea that you needed?
The first